And welcome to another tutorial from Australian Chunky Beads Wholesale. Today I'm going to be making a full bead necklace like this. This is one using our sprinkle beads. Not great to see in this light, but beaded all the way to the end with a lobster clasp. Okay, so first what you'll need, I've actually taken photos of this so I'll insert them into the video, but you will need toggles. I'm using these Love Heart ones. You will need crimp beads. Yeah. You will need, these are going to be really complicated to see. I'm not sure if I can get that. Where is it? This is a crimp bead cover. This one's 4mm. I also have 4mm spacer beads. And also in here they are Wire Guardians. Not sure how well you've seen that, but that's how it goes. Also Tigertail wire. I'll also be using pliers, and these are also our crimp pliers. Okay, first of all, decide the length you want your necklace. I like 20 beads long myself. Also grab the beads that you're also after and set them up. I'm just going to be copying this necklace here, so it's only going to take me a moment to lay it all out. These are using our new sprinkle beads, which are just gorgeous. I took my time designing these ones to make sure I got the right colours, as the last lot I got were not that great. Okay. Purple, sprinkles, pink, and end. Okay. Now the easiest way to start this is actually don't cut your tiger tail. Leave it attached to the roll, then the beads are not going to fall off the end. Now I always put 2 spacer beads at the end just to finish it off. So of course they'll be the first ones that go on. Just going to cut this wire a bit neater. Okay, then simply a matter of threading your beads. Not sure how good the light is here, but we'll just keep going. Spacer bead followed by a bubblegum bead. All the way along, and be careful to make sure you do that. I've finished necklaces before and found that I've missed spacer beads or put double spacer beads in accidentally. Very, very easy to do. I don't mind my kids, they're running around the backyard. It is Christmas, New Year's, school holidays here. Okay, I'm trying to do this as fast as I can. My children are having a water fight outside, so be prepared for the scream when someone gets wet who doesn't want to. Okay, we're nearly halfway there. See, I nearly put on another bubblegum bead without a spacer bead. Okay. If you're having a pendant on your necklace, you need to obviously have it laid out, and at the halfway point, the easiest way to make the pendant stand out is to have two smaller beads. I don't actually have any. Yes, I do here. These ones, for example, are 10mm pearls. Have one of those, then your pendant, and then another pearl, and then follow along with your big bubblegum beads again. It just makes the pendant stand out a little bit nicer. You can use the 10mm pearls, which we have, and also we have the 12mm pearls as well. It's also nice with the full bead necklaces. If you don't want to use a full bead of 20mm bubblegum beads, you can use, say, 10 focal beads down the lowest part of the necklace, and use the 10mm pearls to string the rest of the way, just to give the bubblegum beads more of a focal point, I suppose, and just a different necklace design. There are so many options with these beads, it's incredible. Okay, just double checking. Yep, it's fine. Okay, nearly there. This particular necklace, we're using the matte pearl sprinkle beads, the yellow and pink and purple AB coated crackle beads, and also 20mm rhinestone beads in blue and pink as well. Okay, this is our last bead. Oh, sorry, and we've also got just the solid AB coated beads. Okay, now I'll do my best to show this, but it may be more of a description than anything else. Okay, so they're our last two. Let me see if I can pull this a little bit closer. There were our last two spacer beads here. So now what goes on is a crimp bead. They are the tiny little crimp beads. Okay, so the crimp bead is on. You can't really see it there, it's just here. Then the wire guardian. You thread the wire guardian through both ends. Sorry, I just flicked the crimp bead off. I'll just put another one on. Okay, wire guardian. 1, 2. Okay. So your wire's here. The crimp bead is under my fingers. Your wire guardian is here. You now need to thread your toggle on the end. So you have it like this. And the crimp bead is here, and it slides over all of it. Actually, that crimp bead's broken, so I'm going to have to do that again. So give me another chance to explain. It's crimp bead, wire guardian, and toggle. Okay, so Crimp Bead, Wire Guardian, toggle. Yeah. The crimp bead goes over all of them. Now there are tricks to doing these so they don't pull. The easiest way is to make sure everything is separated before you crimp it down. Now I like to use normal pliers first, these ones. And crimp it down. Don't have to crush them, just crimp it. So now that's crimped, closed. Now I use my crimping pliers to make the crimp in the center. And then you can use the end section of the crimping tool, which then makes the crimp bead go from flat to curving over in half. Okay, so this crimp bead now was crimped flat. Then you put a small indentation in the center with the closest bead, section to the middle here that's got the little sort of, when you close it, you can see it's got the little bean shape. Then once you've crimped it to put the bean shape, you can either put it in the end here to close it over so it turns then into a U shape, or I like to then go back to my normal pliers. So I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this, but this now, yeah, that's not too bad, has now been closed over. That's the back, flat, and the front that's got the two wires through it has closed over. So it's sort of closed flat, the two wires are in the ends, and then it's folded in half again to make it smaller. I really hope that makes sense. But now to get rid of the side of that ugly crimp bead, you use the crimp bead covers. Okay, easy, just slide it over the top, close it down a little bit, not too much, because to get it round you need to kind of turn it as you go. Close, squeeze, close, squeeze. That's the only way you can get these to sort of stay round, otherwise you can end up with all sorts of mess. Okay, so effectively what you end up with, it just looks like another bead on the end. So then that's one end done. You'll thread all your beads back over the tail. I like to leave a little bit of a tail, but effectively it just looks like 3 spacer beads now, but the crimp bead is under here and the crimp bead cover is hiding the crimp bead. Okay, this is why I leave it on the tiger tail, so you're not going to lose any beads. Slide it through, that's one finished end. Okay, now I'll just trim. I use a good couple of inches trim to give myself room. And then it's actually exactly the same process again. I won't do it all on camera because it is exactly the same. You just not drop the crimp bead. Just pop the crimp bead on. Pop the wire guardian through one end, wrap it around through the other end. Don't forget before you crimp it to put the other end of your toggle on. There's the other end of the toggle. Okay. Now the only difference with this end now is you need to make sure you pull it so there's no string showing. So grab your pliers, pull it all the way through. Don't make it too tight, okay. Then you can crimp it again. Fold the wire back through the spacer beads. Okay, preferably both go through. Okay, done. Now I won't crimp that now. But exactly the same, crimp it all closed, and what you'll end up with is this. Both ends are done. And you have both ends of your bracelet, necklace even. Okay, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please just pop us through an email at info@chunkybeadswholesale.com.au or even through our Facebook page, Chunky Beads Wholesale. Bye. Before I go, I just thought I'd show you a couple of the other designs you can use. These are our waxed cord designed necklaces. Same beads we have here, but they're strung on waxed cord with a small 12mm bubblegum bead like I was talking about. This actually has a Diamante spacer on it, and it's much safer for the little guys because it's got a knot here at the end. So if it did happen to break, the beads aren't going anywhere. Much harder to break Tigertail than it is to break wax cord than it is to break Tigertail. So that's an example of that one. This is what I was talking about before with using our 10mm beads. So we have focal beads down the bottom here, and then we also are using 10mm pearls as spacers, just to give a different design necklace. These are our gold findings that we have also. We also have the heart toggles and spacers and wire guardians in gold as well as the silver. We also have the Diamante spacers here in gold as well as silver. And also another use for our beads are the bag charms. This is one with our sprinkle beads yet again on a gold swivel lobster clasp, and just used with our 1mm wax cord. That way you can fit 2 links through all the beads to make it super easy and super fast to make them. So as I've said, pop us an email if you want any advice or any help, and hope you're having wonderful holidays if you're on holidays like we are. Bye.